Hey there. Welcome to another daily devotion. Good to have you with us. I'm in Bangor, Maine, and I'm inside the Mount Hope Cemetery. And it's an absolutely beautiful day here. And as a lot of you know, I like cemeteries because they kind of allow you to stop for a minute and think and slow down, and every once in a while you'll see a cross in one like this. But this cemetery, I mean, I've been in a lot of cemeteries, but this one very different from a lot of the ones that I've been in. This is a very hilly cemetery. There's a lot of grave sites built into, I mean, you can see it right here, like this is a slope that's going straight down, and it's just a beautiful day here. I was just thinking about these last couple of gigs that I've done up here in Maine, and what I've talked about with a few people after the shows and before the shows. And one of the topics that had come up a couple of times was, you know, the legacy that you leave behind. And I couldn't think of a more appropriate topic to talk about in a place like this, right? I mean, some of these gravestones, I'm looking at some of them, and some of them are dating back to the mid-1700s. And there's a lot of 1800, there's 1829 there, and for the birth date and the death date, well, here's one, right? So this is born 1829, died 1881. And so here's died 1864, 1861. So you think about the lives that were led here. And I talk about this a lot too in when I play churches that are old, and you think about how many lives heard about Jesus if the walls of the church could talk. And so, even thinking about this is kind of a creepy thought, but if these people here could talk about their lives a little bit and talk about just, what their walk was like, and then kind of turn that around a little bit and think about what your walk is currently like. We only got a bunch of years on this planet. What's the legacy that we're going to leave? How many people are we going to influence and talk to and help, Like here, this is Charlotte Hills. She was the wife of James Crosby. She died May 27th of 1828. She was only 31 years old. And so her husband died in 1850. He was 60. And it looks like their mom wife of James was, so his first wife died, then he got remarried and she died. She was 91 years old. Right, so you think about even the lives of the Crosbys here. And, did they know Jesus? Didn't they know Jesus? I don't know, There's a whole lot of churches that I've seen around here, but just thinking about, we were talking about grace and peace and mercy and love and tenderness and hope yesterday at the show. And just how and we've spoken about this a bunch of times on this devotion, but how we daily need to be a reflection of Jesus, need to reflect who he is, what he stands for, the hope that he brings into our lives, the peace that he brings into our life. I was talking about the song Fear Not yesterday, and just saying, there's a lot of conversations that I have after the show about that song. And I tell people, look, I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't yes, we all deal with stress and worry and anxiety, but I know that a walk with Jesus is going to help that stress, help that worry, help that anxiety, because we have the ability to kind of pull down, this strength from heaven, this hope from heaven. And when we have his Spirit living in us, right, there's a little more to it. And so our task as followers of Jesus is to push that hope a little deeper out into the world. Bring love, bring mercy, bring grace, bring kindness, bring compassion, bring all of it into our everyday walk. And just be kind to people at the restaurant or in traffic, right? Or at the local coffee shop. Just be kind. And that is a reflection of Jesus right there. So I don't want to belabor the point here. But whenever I get into a situation like this where I'm surrounded by, and I do a lot of walks in cemeteries, and this is certainly the most unique one that I've ever been in. But it just led me back to, what's the legacy that you're gonna leave? What's the life? What's it gonna look like, right? When we're here, what'll people say about us? Was he kind? Was he understanding? All that stuff. And so, just think on that today. And I hope that makes you just kind of think a little more about your walk with Jesus and what that looks like every day. There's little things that we can do to change our habits and to change our stance on things, and but being surrounded here and being in this quiet place and just where it's just so peaceful here. I encourage you to do this. I know for some of you it might creep you out a little bit, but it's really encouraging to just kind of stop and just take a minute and spend some time with God and just realize your humanity and understand a little bit of humility, because we're not here forever. I'm reading the Steve Jobs biography right now. And as he got into his early 50s, he knew he had cancer. And he knew that time was going to be running out. And it's a sad part of the book, because what he contributed to society, not from a religious standpoint, but just his contribution to the world, was absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm recording this on one of his inventions. And not that we have to have that type of contribution to the world, but I find and I believe that the contribution that we make to the world is introducing and showing people Jesus in our lives. And I think that's the greatest contribution that we can make to the world, right? Jesus tells us that he makes us disciples and that we're to go out and make other disciples. And so I don't take that lightly. I think that's an incredible challenge and an incredible charge. And Jesus just tells us to go out, make disciples, and spread the hope, the love, the mercy, the grace, the kindness, and the compassion of Jesus to everybody we come in contact with. So I encourage you to do that today. And if you get a minute, take an afternoon and just chill in a really quiet place. It doesn't have to be a cemetery, but maybe just take a hike, where not a lot of people are. I think I've seen one other maybe two people here in this time that I've been here. But I'll I'll shoot a little more video and you can check out the uniqueness of this place. But yeah, spend a little time with Jesus today. I just pray, right? Just stop for a minute and pray and say, Lord, how can I be your hope, your peace, your mercy, your kindness, your grace to others in my life? It's a challenging task, but it's an incredibly rewarding one as well. So, thanks for being here. Thanks for walking in the cemetery with me. I don't feel so alone now. But, hey, if you want to be a part of this, you can head over to joindavesband.com and get involved in our membership and get involved in our community. It's an incredible place to be. So, thanks. And, yeah, prayers up for you today as you seek him more and seek a way to be his peace and his hope and his kindness and his love and his mercy in your life and in your community and in your family today. Okay, we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.